How does a 297-pound cockroach guy who quit on everything is now considered one of the baddest men on the planet? How is that possible? 4 miles, that was my plan. As I'm driving the truck back home from quitting my job, I drive home, I get my shoes on, and I run a 1/4 mile. Come home crying, because I was exhausted. And I was just defeated, because now I was 175, I was in good shape, and I got myself into a bigger hole now. And now I gotta lose this weight, and I gotta take the ASVAB again to get in the Navy. So I gotta take that, so I took that 2 more times. Because the first time I passed it, but I had to get a 50 on mechanical comprehension, so there's like 10 different sections. Had to get a 50, I got a 44. You can only get a waiver for 5 points, and guess what happened? I take the ASVAB test, and I took it, and now they have computers. Back when I took it the first time, it's like all like Scantron shit. So now I see a computer, so now I'm freaking out, oh my God, it's on the computer. So I take it, and the sergeant in charge of the ASVAB test isn't supposed to tell you what you got. So I take it for my second time and my last time. They're not gonna let me take it again. So I'm now down to 215 pounds, I'm losing the weight, but now I take the ASVAB test for the second time to get in the Navy. As I leave, I get out to my car, and I'm like, this is my life, man. I gotta find out what I got in this fucking test, because usually it takes 2 days to get the results back. But they get them immediately. Once you hit send, that guy gets it right there. So I'm like, that man. I go back in. I go, hey man, can you please? He goes, man, this is military protocol. I'm not breaking it for you. I'm like, people are still taking the test. I'm like crying. I'm like, man, you don't understand what I've been through, man. I'm like, this is my life. Please, I'm begging this guy, please let me know what I got. So he scrolls through, he sees David Goggins, he goes, you got a 65. I go, great. I don't care about that.
Mechanical.
That was my overall score. I go, what did I get on mechanical? He goes, you're asking a lot from me, man. I go, please, man, like I have to get a 50 on mechanical. He scrolls over, I got exactly a 50. Have you seen The Pursuit of Happiness? Yeah. How that motherfucker, when he runs in the stairs and gets a job, and like your hair stands up the back of your neck because he worked so hard to get this shit. When I left that ASVAB and it's nighttime, I'm getting in my car, it felt like that.
Did it?
Something came over, it felt like I truly accomplished, even though I passed it before, but now I know I'm all in. I needed that to start the war. Without that, the celebration was I can start the war now. It wasn't that I won the war, I can start my war. That's what made me, that's why I've been celebrating since, I'm always in that battle. I have peace, but I'm in this battle every day. So I got to 50, I can start war now. I'm down to 215, I have about another month to go, or whatever it is to lose the weight. I dropped the weight, I'm in SEAL training now. Amazing. The war now can begin. So now I'm in SEAL training, and I'm like almost in awe, because I'm like, my God, I'm around the baddest men on the planet from what I thought back then. But once you are able to get in the doors, you realize they're just men. And that's when I realized, okay, this is good for me to see, man. They're like me. I had to work a little harder to get here, but now that I'm on the same playing field as them, let's go to war, guys. So how it happened was there was a guy there at the command officer of Buds was Captain Bowen. He was an old, crusty Vietnam vet, and he had a different way of doing shit. And basically, no matter where you're at in training, if you failed something, he was gonna roll you back to day 1, week 1. We had guys who were 2 weeks from graduation, 6-month program, that got rolled back to day 1, week 1. They didn't have to go through Hell Week again, but they got rolled back to phase 1, day 1 of phase 1, but they skipped Hell Week. For me, I got rolled back in first phase 3 times. First phase is where Hell Week is at. So basically, Hell Week was, I think, the 3rd or 4th week when I was going through, and it starts on Sunday, ends on Friday. I get there, and I had shin splints, stress fractures, double pneumonia, so I get rolled back to day 1, week 1. And I got to start Hell Week again. I didn't complete that Hell Week. So now, I get to my second class, day 1, week 1, I'm going through, I get through Hell Week, happy as shit. But when I was in Hell Week, I actually broke my kneecap. And I'm thinking, I'm not getting rolled again, dude. And I really talk about this really good in the book, but I'll go through the highlights here. So I'm toughing it out. Like I'm gonna go through buds with a broken knee. And my stress fractures are on fire. But I'm going through. So now I have to do this, we have this knot tying test after Hell Week, and you gotta tread water. And when you're treading with a broken kneecap, and I'm negative buoyant, so I'm using everything to stay up. And you gotta go down and tie your knots. My kneecap is going in and out, and I'm like, so I talk about this in the book. So now I'm up on the pool deck and I talk about it good, whatever. But here we are now, I realize now I can't get through this. Like my knee now from that pool session is like a basketball. So I realize I go back, they x-ray and say, look man, your shit's done, your patella is done. So I now go in to Captain Bowen and I don't want to get rolled again. And Captain Bowen looks at me and says, basically, we're gonna let you come back. Captain Bowen and another guy, this other guy that I don't even mention, kind of wants me to mention him. If it wasn't for this guy, this is the guy that made this happen. He broke rules, I believe, to make this happen.
Okay.
Because I wasn't supposed to come back for a third time.
Okay.
Like this is like inhumane. In 1 year, go through another Hell Week. So I'm sitting there in front of Captain Bowen, and Captain Bowen's like, look man, we're gonna let you come back in class 235. This is class 231. With a broken kneecap, look it up, man. Like that's not a lot of time.
That's what I'm thinking.
So this was in May. I classed up again in January. I have stress fractures. Stress fractures don't heal that quick, man. Especially when you beat them up. So I had that much time to heal, and that's it. My last time to go through Navy SEAL training. So I come back, and I'm now in my third Hell Week. We had a guy die in my third Hell Week from pulmonary edema. That water temperature, the Pacific is never warm. He ended up dying. So I get to, and so Hell Week ended on Thursday morning because he died.
Okay.
So it ended about 30 hours early. But what happened with me was, as I said, Hell Week starts on Sunday. Usually you don't swell up until about Wednesday. My body said, oh shit, man, we're back. On Monday, 24 hours into it, man, I'm the Pillsbury Doughboy. My stress fractures, I'm blown up. So I'm going through Hell Week like done. But I'm like, I can't quit. This is my last time going through. I can't get rolled. So I get through Hell Week, and this is where I start to click into something. When your mind, this is this whole 40% rule shit I talk about all the time that I made up a long time ago. And I started making it up through pain.
Tell them what that is, where'd you go?
So basically the 40% rule is I am a strong believer that we quit. Because why? How the f does a 297-pound cockroach guy who quit on everything is now considered one of the baddest men on the planet? How is that possible? It means I had to change one thing, my mindset. So there's no way in hell that was in me, but that guy was in me. When that guy came down here and said, hey, guess what, man? You're a fat ass, but I'm gonna now make you a badass. I'm gonna miracle this shit to be a badass. No, it was in me. I had to believe and make that belief work. And through hard work, I did that. So the 40% rule is like we have like a car. Some cars have a governor on it. And when you get to like 92 miles an hour, that car start doing this because it can't go any faster. Those cars that don't have governors on, like a fast ass, whatever, Porsche, whatever, I'm gonna bury it, gone. We have that ability in us, but we have put this governor on our minds. And you have to, the factory that put the governor on that car, the factory is now you. Until you take it off, you're gonna constantly get to 92 miles an hour and do this. Because you ain't gonna go no faster. As a matter of fact, you might even go slower. So basically, I started realizing this through my life, through going through all these times. So now I get through Hell Week, we ended like 30 hours early, and now we're in Walk Week. After you get through Hell Week, you have Walk Week. And Walk Week is when you're basically just walking around to heal up your body. And our Walk Week ended early because the instructors were pissed off. A guy dies. But the instructors are mad that we didn't finish a complete Hell Week, but I already had a complete Hell Week already.
Of course.
Because I already gone through one already. So now I'm sitting there thinking, man, I already went through 1.5 of these. Now I have like 2.5 of these months. And now I'm getting my ass kicked because now the instructors are mad that our class didn't complete a full hell week and like they were like getting a pass. So they said, Roger that. They shut walk week down on like Tuesday. So everybody that was injured, because the hell week was very different than most of them, they had us on our feet the whole time, rucking, doing nothing but rucking, in and out of the water. It was brutal. So it was a much harder hell week than the other ones I was in. So anyway, so my idea was this. I'm gonna have to leave my house early, cause I lived off base. And I left early. I got to my dive cage where we had duct tape. So I put my black sock on about 4 o'clock in the morning. Put a black sock on, and what I did was I got duct tape. So you know, whenever you move your ankle, it causes your shin to hurt if you have any issue up here. So what I did was I casted with duct tape. So I put the duct tape over the sock, and so the sock kind of protected it to give it a little cushion. I duct taped it as tight as I could, and right here at the pivot point, it created a huge pressure ulcer because your ankle still wants to move. So that tape would just dig in there. So I did that every single day because my stress fractures were just killing me. So I ran pretty much for the first 45 minutes, the most excruciating pain of my life. God. And so, but basically after 45 minutes, my legs would go numb. And when they go numb, you don't feel this shit anymore. So I went through buds like this. So now, the thing about it,
my gosh, man,
is I get to third phase. And for some reason, man, I healed my stress fractures. And to this day, I haven't had them ever since. But I literally, from running, and I'm not saying don't do this, but people go, how'd you get through it? And people say, was it shin splints? No, motherfucker, I had x-rays. They were breaks in my legs.
Man,
and people say, why did you do that? It's either that or not become a Navy SEAL.